Welcome to the top 10 things you didn't know about the New York Giants. Ever thought you knew everything about the Big Blue? Think again. We've dug deep to find jaw-dropping facts and stories that will even have the most diehard fans saying, "I didn't know that." So stay with us. You won't want to miss our number 1 revelation. Number 10. Wide right to a Super Bowl victory. The wide right miss, the infamous failed field goal attempt by Buffalo Bills kicker Scott Norwood in Super Bowl 25, is a moment seared into the memory of every New York Giants fan. But did you know that Norwood was actually an 81% field goal kicker during that 1990 season? What makes this miss even more intriguing is that the kick was just a 47-yard attempt, a distance Norwood had made 6 out of 10 times that season. Many blame the turf for the miss at Tampa Stadium. The turf was notorious for being loose and affecting kicks. Even Giants kicker Matt Barr had difficulties with it. However, the most shocking fact is the Giants coaching staff had studied Norwood's kicks meticulously before the game. They knew that under pressure, his kicks tended to go right. The Giants played the odds, and it led to one of the most unforgettable moments in Super Bowl history. Number 9. The Big Tuna Legend. Bill Parcells, the Big Tuna, guided the Giants to 2 Super Bowl victories. But did you know that his coaching journey with the Giants was almost cut short? After a dismal 3-12-1 record in his first season in 1983, Parcells was nearly fired. Ownership had even picked his successor, Howard Schnellenberger. It's hard to imagine what Giants history would have been like without him. Parcells loved using his psychological tactics. He would even intentionally mispronounce players' names during practice to motivate them. Parcells even made a bet with Lawrence Taylor during his rookie year. He told Taylor that if he could beat the offensive tackle and touch the ball during a practice play, he'd let the whole team leave early. Well, Taylor did just that, and Parcells kept his word. These mind games were instrumental in building a resilient team that went on to win Super Bowls 21 and 25. Number 8. A Giant City. The Giants were founded in 1925 by Tim Mara with a $500 investment. Many fans believe the name Giants was chosen to represent the towering skyscrapers of New York City, but it was a nod to the popular New York baseball Giants. Mara wanted to capitalize on the baseball team's fan base, figuring that they would bet on football games as well. Interestingly, the Giants initially struggled with attendance, so they scheduled a game against a team of Notre Dame All-Stars and used the star power of the legendary Notre Dame coach Knute Rockne and the Four Horsemen to attract fans. The Giants sold out the Polo Grounds, and the success of that game essentially saved the franchise and helped establish the NFL in the country's largest city. Number 7. Giants playing poker. In the 2004 NFL Draft, Eli Manning was the obvious pick. But he made it clear he didn't want to play for the San Diego Chargers, who held the first overall pick. Here's where the intrigue lies. Giants general manager Ernie Accorsi orchestrated a last-minute trade with the Chargers to get Manning. San Diego selected Manning first, but then traded him to the Giants for Phillip Rivers, whom the Giants had picked at number 4 along with 3 other draft picks. Accorsi kept his cards close to his chest. While many teams knew the Giants were interested in a quarterback, they didn't reveal how badly they wanted Manning. It wasn't until minutes before the draft that Accorsi called the Chargers to finalize the deal. The Giants front office executed one of the most dramatic and successful draft day trades in NFL history. Number 6. Sneakers Game. The 1934 NFL championship game between the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears wasn't just any title match. It came to be known as the Sneakers Game. The field at the Polo Grounds was so icy that players struggled to gain footing. At halftime, the Giants were trailing 10-3 and needed a game changer. Equipment manager Abe Cohen ran to a nearby Manhattan college and returned with 9 pairs of basketball sneakers. Those sneakers provided enough traction on the icy field for the Giants to outmaneuver the Bears. The Giants won 30-13, and secured the championship. After the sneakers game, the league began to pay more attention to footwear and other equipment, setting new standards that would improve players' performance and safety on varying field conditions. Number 5. The Incredible Brown. Roosevelt Rosie Brown wasn't just a player, he was a legend. Yet he's a name that might escape even some dedicated Giants fans. Brown joined the Giants in 1953 as a 27th-round draft pick, a choice that could be considered one of the best late-round picks in NFL history. He played in a time when racial integration in the league was still a developing concept, breaking barriers and exceeding expectations. Brown didn't just excel on the field, he became an essential part of the Giants' legacy. Over his 13-season career with the team, Brown was named to 9 Pro Bowls and earned All-Pro honors 8 times. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about Brown is that he played both offense and defensive tackle for a period, showcasing his exceptional versatility. After his playing career, he remained with the Giants as a coach and scout, continuing to influence the game long after he stopped lacing up his cleats. Truly, the tale of Roosevelt Brown is a pillar in the cathedral of Giants history. Number 4. Football in Giant Stadium. Giant Stadium, which opened its doors in 1976, was more than just a sanctuary for Giants fans. It was a vibrant center for world-class entertainment. Many remember it for electrifying football games, but it also hosted legendary concerts like Bruce Springsteen and U2. Giant Stadium was one of the key venues for the 1994 FIFA World Cup. Not only did it host a variety of matches, but it was also the site for the memorable Italy vs. Bulgaria semifinal, where Italy triumphed 2-1 to advance to the finals. This event marked one of the few times that soccer, not American football, was the star attraction at this iconic venue. Number 3. Greatest game ever played. The 1958 NFL Championship game between the Giants and the Colts is often dubbed the greatest game ever played. It was the first NFL game to go into sudden death overtime. But what's lesser known is how this match influenced the NFL's rise in popularity. The game was nationally televised, drawing an estimated 45 million viewers. This was a defining moment in football history, convincing networks that the NFL was ready for prime time. The game was decided by a 1-yard touchdown plunge by Alan Amici, capping an 80-yard drive led by Johnny Unitas. The drive included a critical third down catch by Raymond Berry, who had been clutch all day, amassing 178 receiving yards. This game wasn't just the first to go into sudden death overtime in NFL history. It also helped formalize the NFL's current overtime rules. Number 2. Favre, half-sack master. In 2001, Michael Strahan was a force to be reckoned with. The Giants' defensive end broke the single-season sack record, finishing with an astonishing 22.5 sacks. Strahan shattered Mark Gastineau's previous record during the last game of the regular season against Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. Many remember the moment as somewhat controversial, questioning whether Favre gifted Strahan the sack by falling without much resistance. Strahan himself has joked that Favre should have been given an assist for that sack. Strahan averaged 1.4 sacks per game that season, an astonishing rate. He also led the league in forced fumbles with 6, and his overall performance earned him the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award. Despite facing double and even triple teams throughout the season, Strahan's relentless pursuit and skill were unmatched. To emphasize his impact, the Giants' defense ranked 5th in the NFL in fewest yards allowed per game, in large part due to Strahan's ability to pressure quarterbacks and disrupt offensive schemes. Number 1. The spirit of radio. The Giants were not just pioneers on the field, but also in how the game reached the fans. Way back in 1934, the Giants became the first NFL team to have their regular season games broadcast on the radio. Imagine the leap from reading about games in newspapers to hearing the live action as it unfolded. The sense of immediacy, excitement, and connection it offered was unparalleled at the time. Now, why is this monumental? Radio was the social media of the 1930s. It brought families together, offering them a way to stay connected with the world and their favorite sports teams. The Giants' decision to broadcast their games opened new doors, not only for the franchise, but for the entire NFL, making the sport accessible to those who couldn't be at the stadium. The radio broadcast played an essential role in popularizing the Giants and the NFL, making them household names. It set the stage for today's multi-billion-dollar broadcasting deals, fundamentally changing how fans engage with the sport. So there you have it, football fanatics. We've journeyed through the annals of Big Blue's storied history, uncovering facts and tales that even the most diehard supporters may have missed. From the radio waves of the 1930s to the unforgettable moments of contemporary giants, no pun intended, in the sport, the team's legacy is rich and unparalleled. If you're a fan of the gridiron and love diving deep into the untold stories of football, then it's time for some action. Hit that like button as if it were a game-winning field goal. Subscribe faster than Saquon Barkley sprinting down the field. And share this video with your fellow football zealots. Let's keep this conversation going, and in the true spirit of sportsmanship, may your passion for football continue to grow.